Welcome to Specific Love. Sometimes when you own a house, you have to stop all your other projects and do some home maintenance. Well, for this video, it's gonna be a little bit different because I had a major issue in my house and I wanted to bring you along just in case you ever need to do something similar. So, let's get started. Hey everyone, it's that time of year. Everything's starting to bloom, turn green, you gotta mow the lawn, you got other little tasks that are just starting because it's getting summertime. And then, of course, you sometimes find those unexpected problems. Just like I did. Let me show you. Now I have a crawl space that is actually under my house. And I was in here just a few days ago and I realized there was a stream of water just running under here and about to flood my garage, which is just that direction. So I had to do something. And even though it's had several days of dry, you can see here right where the ground is still dry and right here where it is still wet. There was just that much water flowing. Now what could be causing all of this water flow? Well, there actually is a number of reasons, and I wrote a bunch of these down so I wouldn't forget. First off, there could be possibly a crack in your foundation. If you have a poured concrete, it should be pretty easy to spot that crack. In my case, I have concrete block, and so there's a good chance that there might be a little separation between the mortar and the concrete block itself. Now, you could also have an overly saturated soil. Depending on where you live, especially if you live on a hill that kind of runs toward your house, there's a good chance that the soil is going to hold a lot of water, and that could easily provide way for that water to pour through the concrete into your foundation and into your garage, basement, or crawl space. Now, you could also possibly have broken concrete blocks, and in that case, I'd strongly suggest you going and getting that repaired because you don't want it to cause a problem for the rest of your foundation. Next up is a moisture barrier. There's a good chance that, especially in older construction, that they have what almost looks like a tar that would be put on the side of your concrete to provide almost like a seal between the soil and your concrete. If you have an older house, there's a good chance that might not be on there. Now, also, look at the grading of your soil. If your soil flows toward your house like so, that's not good because that's the way the water is going to flow and it's just going to create an easier way for it to get in your house. I strongly suggest fixing that and make sure the soil grades away from your house, and therefore water is going to want to flow away from it. Now, I'm sure there's a bunch of other reasons out there, and if you think of any, please put those in the comments below so you can help everybody else. Otherwise, let's go check out what I have. Now, if you look at the side of my house here, you'll see that I have concrete block and I have a separation here and some of the mortar here and here. Now my foundation is still nice and strong, so I'm not worried about that, but I do need to go in here and seal this up. And if you look here, I do not have that moisture barrier on the side of my house, so that needs to be applied as well. And if you look at some of this soil, this is about 2 to 2.5 feet deep. You'll notice that it is still wet, even though it has been open to the air for about 48 hours. And that down there is actually the footer of the concrete block. And that should be dry, but as you can tell, it is still pretty damp. So obviously, because I have Georgia clay, this stuff holds a lot of moisture. So that is also a problem. Now, it might be a little hard to see, but I actually have a hill right here that slopes down toward the front of my house. And not only do I have Georgia clay, which holds the moisture, but the sloping down here means more water is going to flow to the front of my house. And so there's a good chance it's going to want to soak in right here and be a problem as well. All right, so how are we going to fix this? First off, we need to dig some more. You can see all of the mess I have over here. Now, of course, you could easily go in and rent a machine, but I didn't want to do that because I'm right up against my house and my foundation. I didn't want to take any chance of that machinery actually getting in and doing damage. So I didn't want that to happen. So just be prepared. This, depending on how deep your house is going to be a lot of digging. All right, here's a little tip when you're digging. If you can take some plastic and you put it on your grass or wherever you're gonna be throwing your dirt, it's a lot less cleanup, especially you don't have to worry about getting all that dirt out of your grass or off of your driveway or wherever you might have it. And when you get down to a smaller amount of dirt, you can always take your plastic, drag it over it, and get it into your hole a lot faster. Now, I just wanted to make sure you know that I'm not sponsored by any of the products I'm using in this video. It just happens to be what I could find in a local store. If you don't have the exact product, that's fine. Find something similar at your home improvement store and just take your time and do it right. First step is once we have this dug out, we need to now take a scrub brush, and a good scrub brush, and we need to go all around your complete wall here that you're going to be adding any type of sealer to, because if there's any kind of debris or dirt on it, it's not going to help, or in fact it might even hinder it and make it fail. So get a good scrub brush and go on this first. Now for this next step, I strongly suggest getting some clothes you don't care about if you get them stained, because the next couple products I'm gonna be using, as I apply them, if it gets on your clothing, there's a very good chance you're not gonna get it out. Now I'm gonna be adding some concrete repair here into these cracks to hopefully keep them nice and sealed so that it's less likely for water to ever seep through them. Now that we've given this sealer some time to dry, you gotta make sure that this wall is clean before we apply the next step. Now, I was fortunate enough to have a pressure washer. If you don't, get a hose and try and hose it off as best you can. You wanna get all these little crevices clean and dirt-free before you apply it. Now, I'm gonna be applying an asphalt emulsion sealer. Now, I've never used this before, but it strongly suggests using a 3-bristle brush. And so, follow the directions, make sure that you know exactly what you're doing before you do this, and you'll probably wanna wear gloves if you're using this type of sealer. And just be careful and don't get it all over you. Now this particular sealer recommends 2 coats, and I did the first coat side to side, and they recommend the second coat to go in a perpendicular, so I went up and down here. Now this, it's been about 24 hours and it feels dry, but I'm still gonna give it a few more hours, possibly a few more days to let it fully cure before I add the next step. It's been a few days and this is fully cured. I'm not worried about touching it at all. And I'm gonna be able to next add a drain to part of my house. Now on the front side of my house, due to the way the foundation and the ground is set up, I'm not gonna be actually able to install this, but on the side over here, I will. Let me show you how that works. In many cases, you do not wanna add a drain this close to your house. In my case, the soil stays so wet here that I need to take care of some of that water and whisk it away. So right here is the footer of my foundation, and I'm actually gonna dig out just a little bit further down so that I can install this pipe so that these holes will be just below the top of this footer, and it should be able to drain this water easily. Now we gotta keep one thing in mind. Whenever we're putting in this pipe, it has to be at a downward angle. Even if it's just like a 1% grade, it has to some way be pointing down. Otherwise, this is just gonna house water and possibly even cause more water damage coming in through your foundation. Now just remember that every house and every layout of the land is a little bit different, and if you're not 100% certain that you're gonna do this correctly in your area, then make sure you seek a professional. Don't just take my word on it. Now once we have everything graded the way we want, we've laid down some fabric here. This will help keep out dirt, and as you can see here, all the stinking roots that are gonna be trying to penetrate and get into the water, and it'll help protect the pipe as you see there. Something else to keep in mind that's very important if you're using a PVC like I am here, there are 2 holes, one on each side, and they're not fully 180 degrees apart. They're probably more like closer to 90. Now you have to make sure that those holes are gonna be facing down. The reason why, even when I was researching this, it seemed like you'd put the holes up because the water would drain into it. The thing is when water's underground, it's actually going to rise. And so you want the holes to be on the bottom so that as that water rises, it'll find that hole on the bottom and then find its way out the drain. Next up, we're gonna be using some crushed at 57. I've washed this thoroughly to get any contaminants out. And we're gonna put this around the pipe, and that way it gives it a little extra room for water to be able to get into the pipe, and a little bit just easier for everything to flow. Now that we have the gravel in place, we've wrapped the fabric over it, and we're start throwing soil on top of it. Just be prepared, even though filling back in the hole is much easier, it's still a lot of work. Okay, that was a long drawn out process, but all the dirt is finally back. A couple things to keep in mind when you're replacing the dirt is, of course, make sure that the soil is higher at the house than it is just a few feet out, so it drains away from the house, not towards it. Also, just keep in mind you're probably gonna have some dirt left over, especially if you put a pipe in like I did. Now, do not get rid of that dirt because there's a very good chance as rain comes, this dirt is gonna settle and it's gonna go back down. You're gonna need to refill some holes or low spots. Also, well, you can always fill other holes you might have in your yard with it as well. Anyway, it's finally done. Now, if by chance you have gutters on your house that come down right where you just dug, it's a good idea to direct all this flow away from all the soil you just put down. Here's a metal extension. It's just a 90 degree or almost 90, and it'll send it out into the yard. There's also a plastic version you can put in place of this. It'll be a little more flexible. And you'll probably just want to screw it in place there. All right, it has been a few days. We had a nice heavy rain last night, and I'm hoping that it's still dry. Let's go check it out. All right, we're in my crawl space. It is a little tight in here, so I'll hold this camera as best I can. Now, normally all this concrete block and the soil right there in that crack would be soaking wet. And as far as I can tell, it is still dry. Now that my house and family are safe and sound, I want to know some of the things that have stopped you in the middle of the project. Put those in the comments. I'd really like to read them. So, with that finished, now I can get back to my shop and have fun building. Some of the stuff, let's try. Stop. My house and I'm to a block. Some of the things, wow, I can't even say this.